The year is 2552. By this time, nothing is impossible for humans anymore. They can travel to other galaxies and live there with aliens and different species. They are traveling at the speed of light. To maintain law and order throughout the universe, there's an organization called the UNSC, which brings different planets into its fold. Their special soldiers are called Spartans. Spartans are so dangerous that on the battlefield, 1 is equal to 100 men. To make them this powerful, they were trained since childhood and subjected to many experiments so that they would only follow the UNSC's orders. Their emotions were also erased. But in this universe, there are also planets that don't want to join the UNSC, and the UNSC forcefully fights with these planets to work for its own benefit. Besides them, there are also very dangerous aliens called the Covenant who attack different planets. Now, the story begins and we see a planet named Madrigal. Some rebels live on this planet, meaning people who don't join the UNSC. But the UNSC has attacked them many times, which is why these people have built a secret outpost on this planet to protect themselves from their attacks. Their leader's name is Jin-Ha. He's talking with his team. He hasn't seen his daughter, Quan, for a while, so he starts asking about her. He finds out that Quan has gone to the jungle with her friends. Elsewhere, we see Quan. She's in the jungle with her friends, looking for intoxicating flowers so they can all have some fun. But then, Quan sees a strange light in the upper part of the jungle. She goes to investigate and sees a cave with a lot of light coming from inside. As she's about to go forward, Quan spots a spaceship on top of a mountain and understands that there's some kind of danger. So she runs back and starts trying to wake up her friends. But suddenly, the spaceship starts attacking all the kids. One by one, all of Quan's friends are killed. Quan manages to hide somewhere and survives. She fires a flare gun. Back at the outpost, everyone sees this red smoke and understands that there's danger. So, everyone grabs their weapons and gets ready. Quan also runs back inside the outpost, where she tells her father that the ones who attacked them are not UNSC people, but some other threat. Hearing this, Jin-Ha tells Quan to take the other kids to the bunker, and everyone gets ready for the attack. The people who were on top are suddenly fired upon heavily, and the enemy kills all the people up there in a single blow. And breaking the main gate, the alien covenant suddenly comes towards them. They have come here with the intention of killing all the rebels. These people attack the aliens with all their strength, and a very intense battle begins. But the aliens are wearing some kind of special suit, which makes the rebels' weapons have no effect on them. And here, one by one, the aliens start killing all the rebels. Jin-Ha also gets trapped under a vehicle. Now, Quan opens the bunker door to save her father. Just then, an alien arrives and kills all the children present in the bunker in one go. As their fight continues, a UNSC spaceship suddenly arrives. 4 main Spartan soldiers jump out of it. They start firing indiscriminately at the aliens. We see the Spartans shooting the aliens with their powerful and advanced weapons, and as a result, many aliens are killed. We get to see a really good fight here, and in a few minutes, all the aliens are dead. But in this fight, only Jin-Ha and his daughter Quan survive. All the other people have been killed. Just when it seems the fight has stopped, an alien comes from somewhere and kills Jin-Ha. Seeing this, Quan starts crying a lot. The Spartan kills that alien. After this, the Spartans head towards that same cave. When their leader, John, goes inside the cave, they find a strange relic. This is what the aliens had come to this planet for. As John goes to pick up the relic, it suddenly activates and starts releasing a lot of power. Instantly, the entire structure of the cave starts to light up. Because of the relic, John starts having visions in which he is a small child and sees his family, which includes a dog and his parents. But then the other Spartan, Kai, comes and removes his hand, and the relic deactivates. One alien, who had been hiding and secretly watching everything, suddenly runs away. They both chase after it, but it turns invisible. On the way, it collides with Quan, knocking her unconscious, and then escapes in its ship. Now, John tells the other Spartans that they should leave, and he himself will take the relic to headquarters. After this, the scene shifts to the planet Reach. The UNSC headquarters is on this planet. Here we meet Dr. Catherine. She is the one who created the Spartan team. This main team has 4 Spartans: John, Kai, Vanek, and Riz. Dr. Catherine had experimented on them, and she is their boss. But just then, the UNSC's admiral arrives. She says that the Spartans were sent to that planet to save the people, but all 150 of them have died. But Catherine says that one girl survived, and John is bringing her here, and she tells her about the relic. Now, the admiral says that they have been fighting these aliens for years and still don't know what they want from humans or how to defeat them. If the aliens are after this relic for some reason, then surely this relic can tell us something about them. So, she tells her to continue continue her research on it. As the Admiral is leaving, she sees a clone in Catherine's lab that Catherine made of herself. Seeing this, she gets very angry because the UNSC has banned Dr. Catherine's cloning technology. But still, Dr. Catherine had made her own clone. She was doing all this work secretly. The Admiral warns Dr. Catherine again to stop all this and leaves. However, Catherine is not going to listen. After this, we see the Covenant aliens' main base. The name of this planet is High Charity. This planet is in a very hidden place in the galaxy that no one knows about. It's a very advanced planet. The alien who escaped from the cave had already informed the alien leader about everything that happened there. Now, they know that the relic is in the hands of a Spartan, and when the Spartan touched it, the relic fully activated. This shocks the aliens, as they've been searching for years for something that could activate it. Then, one of the aliens goes to the only human on the planet, a girl named Maki. When she was little, the aliens had saved her from another human planet. Her job is to learn about humans and guide these aliens. On the other side, we see John in the spaceship. He is looking at that device because after touching it, a lot of changes have come within him. Emotions have appeared, he's feeling sad, and he's slowly starting to remember his childhood. But he doesn't understand why this is happening. In the same ship, in another area, is Quan. When she regains consciousness, she is very scared and starts shouting. But then, a hologram of a girl named Miranda appears in her cell. Miranda tells Quan not to be afraid, that she is fine now and will soon be at the UNSC headquarters, where she will have a good life and can live comfortably. But in return, the UNSC wants her to do a broadcast to different planets and tell them how the UNSC Spartans saved her from the aliens and how brave they are. Quan gets very angry at how they are taking advantage of her grief, and she insults the UNSC and Miranda before refusing. Now, Miranda closes the hologram. The Admiral gets very angry at Quan's words. Here we see John, who is usually quiet, talking with Quan. Quan tells John, "You Spartans are causing total destruction. I know you from before. A few years ago, my mother went to a meeting with other rebels. They had no weapons, but you attacked them and killed everyone." Then John says he was ordered to do so and he can't go against any order. Spartans are, in a way, emotionless humans. But because of the relic, many feelings have entered John's mind. Now, while they are talking, John gets an order from the UNSC to kill Quan. Seeing this, he is very surprised. How can he kill a small girl? But instead of killing Quan, he turns off the ship's cameras. In a way, he disobeys the UNSC's order. Seeing this, the Admiral scolds Catherine a lot because all these soldiers belong to her. Because of this, the Admiral shuts off the ship's oxygen, which causes John and Quan to become unconscious. After some time, John somehow wakes up and manually turns on the oxygen. The ship is automated and about to reach headquarters at any moment. That's why the Admiral orders all the soldiers to kill John. On the other hand, Catherine is against this, so she tells the remaining 3 Spartans from John's team that they must save John at any cost. Here, when the unconscious Quan wakes up, she thinks John did all this, so she holds him at gunpoint. But John tells her that the bullet will have no effect on him. To win her trust, he removes his helmet and says, "You can kill me now, but I am helping you. I have been ordered to kill you, but I don't want to do that." Quan believes him, and just then, the ship lands at the headquarters. After this, many soldiers come and surround them from all sides. But then the 3 Spartans arrive and stop the other soldiers by attacking them. Inside the spaceship, John once again touches the relic. Because of this, he gets a second vision, where he sees himself drawing the same relic. Just then, the relic activates again, and a wave of light is generated everywhere, which causes all the electronic devices present there to shut down. The entire UNSC headquarters experiences a blackout, but that same device starts John's spaceship, and they escape from there. Now we see a flashback scene. It's from a time when John was about 15 or 16 years old and was training at a UNSC center. One night, John gets up from his hostel, grabs a gun, and sneaks out of the center, avoiding everyone's sight. Outside, another Spartan soldier named Soren is already waiting for John. They are good friends and had made a plan to escape from there that night and go to another planet called the Rubble. However, at the last moment, John changes his mind. He points his gun at Soren and says, "I'm not letting you escape from here." But Soren tells John, "This place has taken one of my arms from me, and Dr. Halsey doesn't even care." He explains, "That's why I don't want to stay here. I want to live a life of freedom." He also asks John to come with him, but John refuses. Instead, John tells him, "All right, I'll give you just 5 minutes. Go as far as you can in that time, and after that, I'll call security." Because of this, Soren hastily runs away. The story now returns to the present. John is taking Quan to the very same planet, the Rubble, where Soren lives. During the journey, Quan asks John what the device is, because it's the reason the spaceship started. But John himself doesn't know what the device is or why he's connected to it. Meanwhile, at the UNSC headquarters, there's a lot of commotion because their superhuman soldier has escaped. Outside, we see the view of a beautiful and advanced planet called Reach. Here, the head of the UNSC, Admiral Hood, asks Dr. Halsey how John managed to escape, since they were controlling his ship. She explains that John has a device with immense power, which the aliens are also after, and now it's with John. She assures him, but John will be caught soon. Hood then asks what punishment John will receive for his actions. Catherine explains that the changes in his mind are because of that device. She says, to understand that device and its connection to him, I have an advanced AI cloning program that I want to install in his brain, but the Admiral won't give me permission for it. Hood tells her there's a meeting today where she can present her program, and he will think about it before leaving. After he leaves, Catherine sends John's 3 other team members, Kai, Vanek, and Riz, to find him. Elsewhere, we see John and Quan traveling through a very dangerous asteroid belt in space. After passing through it, they see huge rocks in front of them. These are all space rocks, and people live inside them. Entire colonies are settled within these rocks, with various technologies for traveling from one rock to another. This place is called the Rubble, and this is where John's friend lives. Upon arriving at the planet, everyone stares at John with hostility, as this place is usually for fugitives. But just then, Soren arrives. It seems like he's about to kill John, but then they both start laughing and hug each other. After this, John tells Soren that he needs a safe place to keep Quan. Soren then tells them that Quan has become quite famous on the nearby planets because a man named Vinsher has put a bounty on her head. Here, Quan learns her entire history. It's revealed that the UNSC has made Vinsher the new leader of her home planet, Madrigal. Vinsher is a sworn enemy of Quan's father. Afterward, Soren gives John and Quan a tour of his planet. We see how they fly through space from one rock to another. It's a dangerous ride, but the process is fully automated. Soren then takes John and Quan to his home, where we meet his son, Kessler, and his wife, Lara. On another side of the galaxy, we arrive at the alien planet of High Charity, which is a very secret and mysterious place. We see the escaped alien from the first episode, who is reporting that the relic became highly active as soon as John touched it. We then learn that this relic is actually a keystone. The aliens plan to use it to find a ring. During this conversation, a human named Maki says she can easily move among humans and wants to find the keystone. At first, the aliens refuse, but after she insists, they agree. The scene then shifts back to the UNSC headquarters, where a meeting is in progress. Because of John's escape, the situation has escalated everywhere. The UNSC's main leader, Captain Keyes, tells everyone that they will capture John and punish him. Dr. Halsey isn't happy about this. The leaders begin to plan strategies, discussing if they can create something even greater than the Spartans. That's when Catherine tells them about her Cortana project, which is the cloning technology. Through it, she has created a highly advanced AI. This clone and its AI technology are far more powerful than the Spartans. However, the Admiral says that they have banned cloning technology and won't restart it. But Hood interrupts her and tells everyone that they must do whatever it takes to help them in the fight against the Covenant aliens. Hearing this, the Admiral gives Dr. Halsey permission for a limited trial of the Cortana project. The Admiral is not happy that Dr. Halsey, her junior, went against her in the meeting. The scene then shifts to the planet Madrigal. There, Vinsher is shooting some prisoners, and Quan is watching all of this through a drone. But then Vinsher spots the drone and shoots it down. Elsewhere, we see John, who is finally ready to show the relic to Soren. When Soren sees it, he asks John what it is. John says he doesn't know, but this thing is the reason he was able to escape the UNSC. Just then, Quan tells Soren that when John touched the device, a very powerful light was emitted, which restarted their spaceship. She also tells him that the Covenant aliens were after this relic. Hearing this, Soren is shocked. He also touches the relic, but nothing happens, which means the relic only works when John touches it. Soren tells John, I know a man named Reth, whom the Covenant aliens took with them on their spaceship. He escaped from there and might know something about this relic. After this, Soren takes John and Quan to a jail to meet Reth. When we see Reth, he is in a very bad state. John shows him the relic. Seeing it, Reth starts acting a bit crazy. He says that the Covenant aliens are looking for things just like this. He explains, when I was their captive, they told me to activate this very relic, but I couldn't do it because only one special person can activate the relic. Here, even though Reth is mentally unstable, he suspects that the special person is none other than John. He says, there's another relic like this one. At this point, Reth becomes completely uncontrollable and throws the relic. John quickly catches it, but because of that, it releases a massive amount of energy. A pattern forms from the light, and John starts having visions of his childhood again. John immediately puts the relic down. Everyone is scared of John. After everything calms down, Reth asks him, "Who are you?" Really? But John, overwhelmed by everything, gets angry and starts fighting with Reth. Reth then reveals that the light from the relic formed the pattern of a ring, which is a weapon. The Covenant aliens want to find it to destroy the world. He tells John, you can stop this from happening, but you'll have to destroy yourself along with this relic. Here, we finally understand why the Covenant aliens are looking for this relic. Reth also tells John about Maki, who, just like John, can activate this relic. After learning all of this, John understands that he won't be able to destroy this weapon by himself. That's why he decides to go back to the UNSC, because he knows that if he can get protection anywhere, it's at the UNSC headquarters. Because of this, John leaves Quan at Soren's place and takes his spaceship and the relic, leaving the planet. After leaving, John turns on his spaceship's GPS or beacon. Because of this, Silver Team is able to find his location. They take him back to the UNSC headquarters, but as soon as he arrives, John is put in jail. Dr. Halsey takes the relic to her lab so she can experiment on it. A little later, Catherine comes to meet John and tells him, because of what you did, the entire Spartan program is being questioned. But then John tells her, when I touched that relic, I started having visions, which might be from my childhood, and I can't forget them. That relic is making me behave strangely, and that's why I made that decision. Hearing this, Catherine becomes a bit uncomfortable, as if she is hiding something from John. But the next moment, she asks him, then why did you come back? John hides what Reth told him and says, I only trust you. Hearing this, Catherine is secretly a bit happy. After this, Catherine goes to the lab and awakens her clone from its sleeping chamber. She then tells John, because of all these things, I now have to try something new with you. At the same time, we see Maki, who has a mark on her back. The story then jumps to the present day on a desolate waste planet called Oben in the Visper system. We see many people scavenging through massive piles of junk. On this planet, UNSC forces are treating the local population very harshly. We then flash back to the childhood of a girl named Maki, who lived on this planet. She and her friend, a boy named Det, are hiding from the UNSC. They're reading a book called The Dawn of Angels and dreaming about other beautiful planets in the universe that have light, trees, and plants. They promise each other that when they grow up, they'll travel to these amazing places. As they are about to share a kiss, a UNSC soldier discovers them. The soldier grabs Det and beats him brutally, most likely killing him. A horrified Maki starts to cry. The soldier then turns on her and attacks her with an electronic rod, burning her back. This is the same burn mark we saw in the previous episode. Before he can kill her, 2 Covenant alien ships arrive. The aliens kill all the UNSC soldiers and rescue Maki, taking her to their planet as if she was the one they were searching for all along. This traumatic event is why Maki hates the UNSC. They killed her friend, Det. Back in the present, we see the adult Maki getting ready for a mission to bring back the keystone. The Covenant leader, Mercy, asks her about her plan. Maki says she will first go to the planet Madrigal. Her plan is to kill the demon, which is what they call John, and retrieve the keystone from him. Meanwhile, at the UNSC headquarters, we see Miranda researching the keystone. Admiral Parangoski comes in and tells Miranda that the keystone is 100,000 years old and, according to what they learned from John, it's actually part of a much larger weapon. The Admiral wants to form a new team, separate from Dr. Catherine Halsey's, with Miranda in charge, to figure out what the keystone does. Miranda eagerly agrees to the new role. Elsewhere, we see Dr. Catherine Halsey with her own clone. We finally understand her Cortana project. She has created an advanced AI system, which she calls Cortana, and implanted it into her clone's brain. Now, she plans to transfer this AI into John's mind. Halsey explains that through a process called neurological imaging, she will extract the AI system from the clone's brain. The goal is to implant Cortana into John's brain to monitor his brainwaves and find out what makes the device activate for him. John and the clone are brought into the lab for the procedure. Unaware of the full truth that they want to control his mind, John agrees to it. Dr. Halsey and her assistant, Dr. Adden, begin the process. They successfully transfer the AI data to a chip and then dispose of the clone's body by dissolving it in acid. After the procedure, Cortana appears as a virtual hologram in front of Dr. Halsey. Halsey briefs Cortana on her mission to study John's mind but restricts her full access, which disappoints Cortana. When John wakes up, Halsey introduces him to Cortana, explaining that the AI will now always be connected to him. John feels very uneasy about having an AI in his head and is reluctant to talk to her. The scene then cuts to Quan. She's watching the news and discovers that her father's old enemy, Vinshur, has taken control of her home planet, Madrigal, and has signed a peace treaty with the UNSC. Furious, Quan goes to Soren and demands a spaceship so she can go back and fight Vinshur. Soren refuses. At the same time, we see a UNSC patrol ship called the Gladius pick up a distress signal. It's from Maki, who is pretending to be a human survivor. She claims that Covenant aliens attacked her planet, kidnapped her, and then abandoned their ship when the engines failed. The UNSC crew believes her story and brings her aboard. But it's a trap. Maki has brought strange parasitic aliens with her, and they attack and kill the entire UNSC crew. After taking over the ship, Maki tries to access the UNSC database, but her access is denied. Meanwhile, back at the lab, Dr. Halsey has John touch the keystone one more time. As soon as he does, he starts having those visions again. Seeing this, Dr. Halsey orders Cortana to connect with John's mind. Cortana manages to connect and, in an instant, she is linked to his entire brain. But here's the thing, because the keystone has already formed a bond with John, it immediately senses Cortana's intrusion. Therefore, As soon as Cortana tries to dominate his mind, the keystone detects it and blocks her from getting any access. Ultimately, this means the keystone is far more advanced than anything they have. During this whole process, Halsey tells Cortana to back off, but Cortana replies, "No, I need full control of John's mind. Only then can I read the data." When Halsey refuses, the two of them start to argue. This argument reveals a bit about Cortana's strange behavior. She seems to want to dominate and control everything herself. Caught in the middle of this conflict, all of this makes John feel really weird and overwhelmed. He gets up, leaves the lab, and goes to meet with the rest of his silver team. While they're having a meeting, Cortana suddenly appears as a hologram without being summoned. Seeing her just show up like that makes John angry, and he rudely tells her to leave. A little later, John is trying to search for something on a computer but isn't finding any answers. It is at this moment that Cortana speaks to him, saying, "I can help you find what you're looking for." Hearing this, John starts to trust her a little bit and tells her that he saw a specific planet in his vision and he's trying to find it. Based on his description, Cortana finds data for 103 planets. From within the list, one of the planets, named Aridus 2, catches John's eye. Cortana tells him that a Spartan soldier named Nora died on that planet, but John realizes he feels no sadness about it at all. Sensing his confusion, Cortana then reveals why. There's a hormonal pellet implanted in his lower back near his spine that suppresses all of his emotional feelings. As soon as he hears this, John goes to the bathroom and cuts the hormonal pellet out of his own back. Unbeknownst to him, Kai is secretly watching him do this. With the pellet gone, John immediately starts to experience things differently. For example, when he walks through a crowd of people, he feels a strange new sensation. He can feel their happiness and sadness. For the first time, his own feelings are starting to wake up. Following this, he goes back and touches the keystone again. This time, the vision is much clearer. He sees his family and remembers being a child. He now understands that the people in his visions are his parents, and all of this is from his own memories. The visions also show him that the keystone is actually a small part of a much larger artifact, and that he made drawings of all these things as a child. He even remembers his father getting angry at him for the drawings, which ultimately made him bury them underground. Armed with this new knowledge, John goes to Dr. Halsey and tells her everything straight up. He says, "I've removed my hormonal pellet. The visions I'm seeing are my childhood memories. There are actually 2 keystones, and as a child, I buried all my drawings of them on my home planet. That large keystone is probably there too, and I want to go there." Dr. Halsey replies, "Okay, but you have to take me with you." And with that agreement made, they all prepare to leave. Elsewhere, we see Quan. She's trying to steal Soren's spaceship to escape, but Soren shows up and stops her. Thinking fast, Quan then tells Soren that her family has a large stash of deuterium, which is worth a lot of money on the market. She says, "I'll give you money, but in return, you have to help me." After thinking it over for a while, Soren agrees, and so he and Quan then get ready to leave for the planet Madrigal. In another part of space, we see Maki again. Posing as a prisoner, she's on a UNSC ship and sends out a fake distress call to the Covenant base, saying, "The UNSC hasn't found any information on their ship. I'm now heading to the planet Madrigal." Madrigal is Quan's home planet. She continues her message, "I will get the keystone at any cost and reach the sacred ring." However, this entire conversation is being recorded by the people back at the UNSC base. Maki is speaking in the alien language known as Sangaili, which it turns out only Miranda can decode. Because of this, Captain Keyes calls Miranda in for the job. Unfortunately, Miranda's system has crashed, so she asks for some time to get it working, so she can decode the message. Meanwhile, Dr. Halsey and Dr. Adden are talking. Voicing his concern, Adden asks Halsey, if John gets all his memories back after going to Aridus 2, it could become a huge problem for the UNSC. Everything could be destroyed. But unfazed, Halsey replies, "That's exactly why we created Cortana. She can easily handle this problem." Then we see a flashback where we see a group of children. They are being trained to become Spartan soldiers. Among these kids are John, Riz, Kai, Vanek, and Soren. Even though they're so young, John has already tried to escape many times. So one day, Dr. Catherine comes to meet him and asks why he keeps running away. John tells her he was brought here for training against his will and that he wants to go home. Catherine butters him up, saying he's a special child. She tells him that when he grows up, he'll become the leader of all the Spartan soldiers. She calls him a hero and says she wants him to stay and become even stronger. Hearing all this positivity makes the young boy happy. After this, the story shifts back to the present timeline. We overhear a conversation between Dr. Catherine and Dr. Adden. Dr. Catherine suggests that the keystone might contain an artificial intelligence that only only activates when John touches it. Meanwhile, we see John enjoying the beauty of the universe, but his heart rate slowly starts to increase. Just then, Cortana appears and tells him that what he's feeling is called anxiety. This is the first time John is experiencing these emotions. A short while later, their spaceship arrives at Aridus 2. We see that the entire planet is barren. This is because when John was a child, a virus spread here, killing everyone. John manages to find his old house. Suddenly, John starts having visions. He remembers his father forcing him to put all his drawings into a briefcase and bury them. After some digging, they find that very box, filled with the drawings he made as a child. Looking at the drawings, John remembers where to find the second keystone. However, even after seeing the drawings, they still don't know the exact location of the main keystone. Now, Dr. Catherine is a little scared because this is John's childhood planet. If his memories fully return, it could create a lot of trouble for her. What she did to John in his childhood is something we'll find out in the upcoming episodes. Catherine keeps telling him they should leave, but he ignores her and goes inside his house. There, with Cortana's help, John uses his old memories to create a visual reconstruction of his home. His house appears before him just as it was. In this visual memory, he sees himself drawing in a specific spot. This was the same place where John first saw the second keystone. He had touched it back then, which is why the keystone has now activated. As he looks around, another memory comes back to him. A woman is talking to him in his bedroom. He moves closer, and here it's revealed that Catherine used to visit him in his childhood without his parents' knowledge. Seeing this, John is shocked and asks her, "Why did you come to see me in my childhood? My parents were still alive then." The scene cuts here. Elsewhere, we see Quan and Soren, who have arrived on the planet Madrigal. Quan walks into their main center and sees her friend named Atu. Atu isn't very happy to see her and immediately says, "You shouldn't be here. If I'm seen with you, they'll kill me too." But Quan gets angry at this and tries to stop him. To avoid a fight, he tells her, "Tonight is your father's memorial. Come there." After saying this, he runs away. Later that evening, Quan goes to the location Atu mentioned, along with Soren. There, she sees a woman named Agatha, who was also her father's general. She is happy to see Quan alive, but Quan starts telling her that they must fight Vinsher and not surrender to him. But Agatha says, "Our lives have been ruined. We can't fight." During their conversation, Vinsher's men arrive and attack everyone, beating them brutally. Here, Soren manages to save Quan and gets her out of there. They needed to leave, but they get another shock when they reach their ship. Vinsher's men have now captured it. But Quan says, "I have an aunt here named Sujin. She can help us." Hearing this, Soren decides to give Quan one more chance. Here, we see Vinsher, who hires an assassin named Franco and gives her the contract to kill Soren and Quan. Quan goes to meet her aunt, Sujin. While they are talking, Soren goes outside to meet a dealer. The dealer tells him about a place called New Carthage, 200 kilometers away, from where a transport ship leaves every night. He says they can use that ship to get off the planet and asks for money to take them there. But Soren just holds the dealer at gunpoint and takes his bike. Back inside, we see Quan trying to convince her aunt that they need to fight back. But Sujin starts to explain, "You don't know the whole truth about your father. Before he became the leader of this entire rebellion, he met a tribe in the desert called the Mystics." She explains that somehow, after being influenced by them, he suddenly felt the need to fight for this planet because he believed it was his life's purpose. She warns Quan not to get involved in these matters. Before Quan could learn more, Franco suddenly appears and kills Sujin. Just then, Soren arrives to save Quan, puts her on the bike with him, and they escape. Elsewhere, we see Kai, who, just like John, has also removed the hormonal pellet from her back. She's also started behaving more like a human and has even dyed her hair red. Anyway, after this, Kai and the rest of her team go to meet Miranda. Miranda needed to research the keystone. One by one, the members of Silver Team touch the keystone, but it doesn't activate. After that, she takes them to her lab, where they are researching the body of the Covenant alien they brought back. While there, Kai finds one of the Covenant alien's weapons. Picking it up, Kai says its name is the Needler, but the aliens call this weapon Kep. Kai mentions that they know a few words of the alien language. So, with their help, Miranda starts translating the message they recovered from Maki. They discover that Maki is going to use the relic on a sacred ring, and this sacred ring is called Halo. After this, they look at the old footage from John's suit. They see that as soon as John touched it, a ring-like pattern emerged from the keystone. This was the same ring Maki was talking about in the recording. Miranda is quite surprised to see this ring, but she tells Kai not to mention this to Dr. Catherine. Kai agrees. Seeing this, Miranda remarks, "Your behavior has changed a lot. Dr. Catherine won't like that, because if any of her inventions go against her, she removes them from her path." This statement is actually meant for John, because John has been Dr. Catherine's favorite invention so far. The scene then shifts back to John. He's still confused about what Catherine was doing in his childhood. So, Catherine lies, saying that memories aren't always true. She tells him, "When you met me in your childhood, you were very sad because you had lost your parents. Maybe due to the trauma, you're seeing different things. Don't take them seriously." But John remains confused. A little later, Aden brings Dr. Catherine a scan report of John's brain, which Cortana had taken without telling him. Looking at it, Catherine says that all of John's neural clusters have opened up, which is why all his memories are coming back. During their conversation, John comes over and says he remembers where the second keystone is kept. After this, John leads them inside a cave. From there, another area is revealed, and they finally find the massive second keystone. Dr. Catherine is very happy to see it, because now they have found this object before the aliens did. Then we see a flashback to a past incident on planet Aridus 2, showing the planet as it once was, a thriving world where UNSC members taught children how to grow plants and trees. A woman named Katie is giving a tour of a school to a much younger Dr. Catherine and her husband. In a surprising twist, we discover that Catherine's husband is none other than Captain Jacob, and the two of them have come to this planet to start a new life. We also learn that Miranda is their daughter. However, in the present, Catherine is estranged from her family. During the tour, Dr. Catherine notices a young boy, John, playing on a rope bridge with other children. Suddenly, one of the boys slips and is about to fall, but John quickly grabs his hand and saves him. Dr. Catherine and Jacob are astonished by John's incredible strength, despite his young age. Cutting back to the present day, the story then shifts. Dr. Catherine has informed the entire UNSC that she has located the main relic. As a result, a large UNSC team, including Captain Jacob and Miranda, has set up a base on planet Aridus 2 to retrieve it. Jacob had specifically requested Miranda's presence so she could work with her mother, Catherine, to research the second keystone, or relic. Back in the cave on Aridus 2, John is staring at the relic when Cortana appears. She tells him that the energy emanating from this keystone is far more powerful than the first one. Dr. Catherine then arrives and warns John to stay away from the keystone until she has completed all her tests. Meanwhile, on planet Madrigal, Soren and Quan are trying to escape from Vincher's men. Their bike breaks down, and Soren becomes angry because he needs to catch a transport ship that night. Quan, however, is still determined to kill Vincher. Frustrated, Soren decides to tie Kai to the bike and leaves to find another vehicle. Returning to the tense situation on Aridus 2, Miranda enters the cave and meets Dr. Catherine, wanting to join the research. However, Catherine completely ignores her and continues working with her assistant, Aden. Angrily, Miranda leaves. Elsewhere, the Spartan soldiers are being briefed on their mission to secure the relic and transport it safely to the UNSC headquarters. During this, John notices Kai's dyed hair and realizes she must have also removed her hormonal pellet, allowing her to feel emotions. He pulls her aside and asks when she removed it. Kai is happy he noticed and says she did it after seeing him do the same, explaining that she feels very different now. However, John warns her that she is now a liability on the mission because she can feel emotions, which could put others in danger. He orders her to stay in the camp. Kai retorts, "If I'm a threat to everyone, imagine how dangerous you are," and storms off in anger. The scene then cuts to Maki, who has arrived on planet Madrigal. She and the Covenant are searching for the second keystone by tracking the sound frequency of the first one. They know this will lead them to the larger keystone on Aridus 2, where John is. Back on Madrigal, Quan breaks free from her restraints using a rock. A short while later, Soren returns with a new vehicle. Quan, who had hidden herself in the dirt, ambushes Soren and knocks him out with an electric rod. She then takes his gun and points it at him, but the scene cuts away. Back on Aridus 2, a very confused John seeks out Captain Jacob. He tells Jacob about his memories of seeing Dr. Catherine at his house when he was a child, before his parents died. He is convinced that Dr. Catherine is lying to him and wants to know the truth. Jacob seems surprised but reassures John that he will investigate everything once they return to the UNSC headquarters. However, this reassurance is merely a facade. Jacob is just pretending. He and Catherine immediately contact the Admiral and inform her that John is compromised. The Admiral orders them to stop the mission, but Catherine blackmails her, forcing her to agree. Catherine and Jacob then decide to remove Miranda from the mission for her own safety, as they don't want their daughter getting caught in the middle of this dangerous situation. Meanwhile, the team is using a laser to cut through the second keystone. As they do, it emits a powerful sound wave that is unbearable for everyone. However, the sound doesn't affect John at all. He walks up to the keystone, and as soon as he is in front of it, the sound stops. But at that moment, the scene shifts to Madrigal, where Maki now knows the exact location of the keystone because of its frequency. John then touches the keystone and has a vivid flashback. He remembers being a child and a person in black clothes making him unconscious and kidnapping him. As he's being put into a vehicle, he sees the person's face, and it's Dr. Catherine. Suddenly, John pulls his hand away from the keystone. Dr. Catherine runs to him to see what happened. He confronts her, saying, "You're the one who kidnapped me." A frightened Catherine tells him she'll explain everything once they get the relic to headquarters. But John becomes furious and is about to attack her. Before he can, Catherine orders Cortana to incapacitate him, and John is knocked unconscious. Upon regaining consciousness, John finds himself surrounded by soldiers. He realizes Catherine intentionally connected him to Cortana as a failsafe, allowing them to incapacitate him if he ever became a threat. Furious, John sets out to confront Catherine, but his path is halted by the sudden arrival of a massive Covenant ship initiating an attack. Before their eyes, the aliens destroy the main UNSC vessel, the Pioneer. With their primary ship gone, Dr. Catherine orders John to take the other keystone and escape on Miranda's ship at all costs. John complies, fighting his way through Covenant forces. His progress is complicated when another alien dropship arrives, unleashing more troops onto the battlefield. The ensuing battle highlights the effectiveness of the Spartan soldiers, who handle the aliens with ease, while the regular UNSC soldiers are quickly overwhelmed. Amid the chaos, the Covenant also attack and destroy Miranda's spaceship, eliminating John's escape route. Seeing this, Dr. Catherine contacts John with new orders. Bring the keystone to her instead. John, still angry over her betrayal, refuses. At that moment, Catherine spots an injured Miranda on the ground. She rushes out to rescue her and brings her aboard her own ship. Meanwhile, Kai is struggling in the fight. Without her emotional suppressing pellet, the surrounding violence and bloodshed cause her to become weak and disoriented, just as John had warned. An alien takes advantage of her state and attacks, heavily damaging her suit. John sees Kai in danger and leaves his vehicle to save her. As he does, another alien attacks the vehicle, causing the keystone to be knocked onto the ground. After dispatching the aliens around Kai, John turns back toward the objective, but a large Covenant warrior descends from the sky. The alien easily overpowers John, grabs the keystone, and flies back to its ship. Inside that Covenant vessel, we see Maki, who instructs the aliens to send her to the battlefield. When John later finds her, she is pretending to be unconscious. Deceived by the act, John chooses not to kill her. After this, we see John having some hallucinations. When he wakes up, he finds himself in the operating room where Kai, who is badly injured, is being treated with injections to keep her unconscious. When John comes out, he sees the terrible condition of the other injured soldiers for the first time and feels awful. In front of him, Maki is lying unconscious. He's about to go see her when Captain Keyes comes to meet him and thanks him. He's grateful because John saved the lives of many soldiers. However, John doesn't feel good about it because he failed his main task of saving the relic. But the captain tries to console him. Meanwhile, we learn that after touching the relic, John's health is rapidly deteriorating, but he refuses any treatment. After some time, they reach the UNSC headquarters. With the full weight of Dr. Halsey's betrayal now clear, John now understands that Dr. Catherine Halsey has deeply deceived him, so he comes up with a plan. While she's working in her lab, he locks the gate from the outside, trapping her inside. Cortana questions his actions, and John explains his plan. He tells her about a famous scientist named Roman Quinn who realized that no matter how advanced his technology or AI became, it could betray him someday. So he built a failsafe into all his technology except for his own lab. John plans to do the same, activating the lab's radiation system. Dr. Halsey gets scared and runs to the door, pleading with him to open it. A timer starts, and in 1 minute, the lab will be flooded with lethal radiation, and Catherine could die. Cortana tells him to open the lab, but John says, "Catherine created you to control me, right? So use your power to control my mind and make me open the lab." But Cortana tells him, "No, I can't control you. I can only sedate you." John doesn't believe her. As the timer gets down to the last 10 seconds and steam starts filling the lab, he finally opens the door. A terrified Catherine falls to the floor. As John leaves, he says, "I was just testing how much access you gave Cortana to my mind. When I get back, I want the truth." His point made, John then goes to meet Maki, who has regained consciousness. When John asks, Maki tells him she's been a prisoner of the aliens since childhood. She warns him that his life is in danger because the second keystone is here and the aliens will attack to get it. We, the audience, understand that Maki is here to get that second keystone. John asks where the aliens took the keystone they stole from him. She tells him it was taken to a planet called Raskatska in the Aspero star system, which is a holy place for the aliens. John asks her to show him its location, but she says she's never been to that planet. Frustrated, John gets angry because he feels her information is useless. He threatens her, asking, "Why should I trust you? The aliens don't leave any humans alive. Why did they spare you? Why are you still alive?" That's when Maki reveals, "The Covenant call me Hirejo," which means the Blessed One. Hearing this, John has a flashback to the prisoner who had given him details about this. Acting on this new information, everyone starts searching for the planet Raskatska, but they find nothing in the Aspero star system. Elsewhere, the UNSC seniors are putting pressure on Admiral Perengoski. They want her to hand over the Spartan program to someone else because she isn't handling Dr. Halsey properly. In response, the Admiral devises a plan and opens an investigation into Dr. Halsey. We then see an officer interrogating Catherine. In the same room, but invisible, Admiral Perengoski and Captain Keyes are listening in, connected through a special device from another room. The interrogation is not just for the High Command. John and Miranda also enter the interrogation room. John asks Dr. Halsey, "Tell me now, why did you kidnap me as a child?" Catherine explains that she was planning the future of humanity. Humans are naturally weak, selfish, and driven by greed. She knew that for humanity to survive, they needed a special force, a special army that was beyond human emotions, an army that could prevent wars between planets before they even started. She says that because of the Spartans, humans can now fight the aliens and survive. The Spartans are the next step in human evolution. Unimpressed, John says these are nice stories for movies and tells her to get to the part where she kidnapped him. Catherine then reveals that to create the Spartan team, she needed children under the age of 6 so she could train them and experiment on them to make them stronger. Obviously, parents wouldn't give up their children easily, so she chose specific children, stole them from their parents, and replaced them with genetically flawed clones that were designed to die within a few months. This way, the parents wouldn't suspect anything and would think their children died from an illness. Hearing this, John gets incredibly angry. "You stole our childhoods and forced our parents to grieve the death of their children. How can you justify any of this?" Catherine starts giving a lecture on how she did it all for humanity. John then asks who else knew about this. From the expressions of the Admiral and Keyes, we realize they also knew about the program. But Catherine cleverly replies that on the battlefield, people only want solutions, no matter how you achieve them. She tells John, "I knew that because of the artifact, all your childhood memories would return, and it would backfire on me. But I still let it happen because it's the only way we could learn the relic's secret." John asks, "What secret?" Catherine explains that there are 2 relics, and he is the key to both of them. Through him, the key will be unlocked, and they will be able to reach Halo. This Halo is likely a special, advanced AI. She says, "You will lead us there, and we, as humans, will evolve beyond our current limitations. It will be a historic moment for our species. You can't do this without me, so you have to trust me." John replies, "This started with me, and I will end it without you." As he storms from the room, Cortana asks him what his next task is for her. John angrily tells her to get lost, saying he doesn't need her anymore. Shortly after, we see Admiral Perengoski and Catherine in a meeting. Catherine thinks that the meeting with the officer was just for show and that she is now free, with no case against her. She starts making fun of the management, but the Admiral doesn't like it. She tells her the investigation was not a drama. "You told Master Chief the entire truth about his childhood. Our greatest soldier is now a threat to us. If management finds out about this, we could all be in jail." But Catherine says, "You can't arrest me, because you were also a part of this plan." The Admiral replies, "I don't want to arrest you," and calls 2 of her men into the meeting. She tells Catherine, "I'm firing you. After my warnings, you broke all the rules. You went to the seniors without my knowledge and got the cloning program approved. You broke every UNSC rule. In your research, you went so far that even when John's hormonal pellet was removed, you did nothing, and because of that, we lost the relic today." The Admiral says that after her, Miranda will take over all the research. Hearing this, Catherine gets angry and says Miranda can't handle these things. But the Admiral doesn't listen and has her taken away. The scene then shifts to John entering Maki's room, where Miranda is taking her blood sample. Seeing the scar on Maki's back, Miranda asks if an alien did that to her, and Maki says yes, another lie. Miranda then tells her that some time ago, a Covenant ship attacked their ship, killing everyone. As the audience, we know that Maki herself was responsible for that attack. Miranda says that after the attack, they received an audio transmission in the alien language and that she needs Maki's help to translate it. Maki agrees. Following this interaction, we then see John's hand, which is shaking uncontrollably. He leaves and goes to the medical center for a checkup. His condition is critical. He could pass out at any moment, but he doesn't have time. Meanwhile, in the control room, everyone is in a panic, trying to find the planet Maki told them about, but there is no such planet in the Aspero system. Captain Keyes tells the Admiral that the Aspero star system is completely empty. Searching there is like searching in a black hole. This means Maki lied about that as well. A little later, we see Catherine in her home, with a drone monitoring her. Her assistant arrives and tells her that the UNSC has disabled Cortana. "I don't think you can access her from your home anymore. I wrote the UNSC's security algorithm myself. herself and she won't be able to crack it. But Catherine has a device. She is waiting for Cortana to arrive. In the lab, we see Miranda, who has now gotten her mother Catherine's lab. She's very happy that she can finally do research on the relic. However, when she goes to the cloning pod, her access is denied. Suddenly, a message appears on the big screen, "See me." Miranda realizes it's a message from her mother, Catherine, so she goes to her house to meet her the next day. There, Dr. Catherine acts like a mother and explains that she is saying goodbye because she is being sent away from the planet. But Miranda knows her mother is very smart, so she says, "Stop this nonsense and tell me why you called me here." Catherine tells her, "You can't handle the power of the relic, and there's a great danger to John from all of this. I'm talking to you as a scientist." They have an argument, and Catherine explains herself, saying she doesn't believe in the family system, which is why she couldn't be a good mother. She says, "I know I should have told you all this before," and becomes very emotional. Seeing her mother like this for the first time, Miranda feels a bit uncomfortable and leaves. But once she leaves, we see that Dr. Catherine is a very cunning woman, and this was all a drama she created to lure Miranda there. She scanned Miranda's eyes to create a replica of her contact lens. Now, through Miranda, she can access her lab from her home. Meanwhile, we see Miranda in the lab with John. She tells him that his DNA and Maki's DNA are a very close match. John then goes to investigate Maki again, because all the information she gave was a lie. While talking to her, he gets very angry, and suddenly his condition worsens. Maki tells him that when he first touched the relic, it told him stories, which made him touch it again and again. Through the relic, he learned the truth, but it is also making him sick. She says, "The aliens forced me to touch the relic repeatedly, but its power was so immense that I couldn't handle it and almost died. But the alien priest told me not to fight the power, but to embrace the relic's vision. After that, my pain went away. Now, the relic doesn't control me, I control it. Take me to that relic. It will show us the way to the second one. And when both stones are reunited, you will find peace." But John doesn't trust her. Simultaneously, on the other side, Cortana finally manages to meet Catherine through the device. She tells her how she broke through the security and accessed Catherine's home. After this, they start monitoring the lab's activities. Back in the lab, John tells Miranda, maybe she's lying, but if she can touch that relic to find the location of the other one, then so can I. With that, they both go into the room where the first relic is kept. Miranda, however, isn't sure about this because John's health is looking pretty bad. The moment they open the relic's room, Maki somehow senses where it is. Around the same time, some staff bring food to her cell, but she starts insisting, "I need to see John. Something bad is going to happen. Please stop him." The staff just ignores her, which makes Maki furious, and she shoves one of the women. Then she pulls out a weapon from her finger and is about to kill her with it. Just then, on the other side, John touches the relic. The second he does, Maki starts having a seizure. The staff in her cell quickly puts a device on her head to check her heartbeat and hits the emergency button. Cortana immediately gets the alert that there's an emergency in Maki's cell and tells Dr. Catherine Halsey. In response, Dr. Halsey starts monitoring the health reports for both Maki and John. We cut back to John, whose condition is getting much worse from touching the relic. Miranda is getting really scared and can't handle the situation. She keeps telling John to let go, but he won't listen. His heart rate starts spiking, and it looks like he's about to have a heart attack. Cortana asks Halsey, "Should I sedate John? He's going to die otherwise." But Halsey says, "No, I want to see how this plays out to the end." John starts getting different visions from his childhood, and then all of a sudden, everything goes quiet. Back with Maki, her condition was also critical with doctors checking on her, but for her too, everything suddenly calms down. John's heartbeat slowly begins to decrease, and he has a vision. He finds himself on a completely different, Earth-like planet, and he sees Maki there. Meanwhile, Halsey notices that John and Maki's heartbeats are now in sync. In John's vision, we see a massive pillar on the planet. It stretches from above his head, high into the sky, then curves all the way around and comes down to the ground right beside where Maki is standing. Maki and John walk towards each other, looking incredibly happy to be reunited, as if they are partners. Maki also looks up at the huge pillar, and John finally takes his hand off the relic. The scene then shifts to Quan's backstory. Here, she looks completely different. She's at a dinner with her father, other relatives, and a commander. Just then, a soldier arrives, and they all invite him to join them for dinner. The young man starts talking to Quan, but she is very angry with her father. Because of the war on this planet, she had lost her mother. She starts arguing with the soldier, saying, "You haven't lost much in this war, but I've lost my mother." Seeing her argument, her father tells her to be quiet, and Quan walks away from there. From this glimpse into her past, we cut straight to the present, where Quan had left Soren. She's now driving through a vast desert, searching for the tribe her father once encountered. Suddenly, a massive dust storm appears ahead. She drives straight into it, but then spots a shadow in the distance. She stops the car to investigate, and in that moment, someone kidnaps her. In a parallel storyline, the scene then shifts to Soren. He has returned home, where a grand celebration is underway. This confirms that after Quan left him, Soren traveled back to his home. During the party, one of his own men begins to taunt him, saying, "You took Quan from here, but when you came back, you had neither the girl nor the bounty on her head. Looks like she tricked you and escaped. You've gone soft, unfit to lead." Soren starts to argue, but his wife intervenes, stopping him out of respect for the occasion. Still, Soren isn't ready to let it slide. Our attention then returns to Quan, who has been captured and brought by some women of the desert. In fact, this was the same place where her father had come. Quan is confronted by their leader, Desiderata. Quan says, "My father changed after coming to you, and that's why he isn't alive today." But the leader tells her that this story didn't begin with her father, but with her ancestors, and that she isn't ready to know the truth yet. This truth is much bigger than her and her father. Quan then challenges all the women to a fight. In response, they all take her inside a tent. Their leader starts telling Quan her history. She says that centuries ago, the planet Madrigal was very different. It was completely barren, with no water. Your great-great-grandfather was the first human on this planet, who came with his entire family and relatives. Their survival was very difficult. One night, your great-great-grandfather left his village in search of water, and going into the deep desert, he dug a well. But instead of water, his hands found a type of fuel, and this planet has been running on that fuel ever since. But inside the well, he had met a cosmic being. This cosmic being was from a different time, perhaps from a different dimension. And that very cosmic being told your great-great-grandfather what his true responsibility was. And that's why, after one generation, the next generation kept passing on that responsibility. Quan asks, "What is this responsibility? Tell me too." Then, Desiderata takes a blue flame in her hand, puts it in a bowl, and the flame turns into water. She lets Quan drink that water. After drinking it, she starts to feel quite strange, and before you know it, she faints. When she opens her eyes, she is back on Master Chief's ship. She starts asking, "Chief, how did I get here? Did I time travel?" But John doesn't say anything and comes out of the ship. This was the same place, and in front of them were many tents. John goes into one of those tents, where there were many women and the same prisoner we saw on Soren's planet. The prisoner tells Quan, "You wanted to fight to prove your abilities, right? So here's a weapon. Go defeat Master Chief." And he gives her a chain, and she starts hitting John with it, but nothing happens to John. After which, she is given another weapon, and like this, she is given many weapons, but nothing happens to John. And she gets tired from hitting him. She screams and asks John, "What do you want? Tell me." And just then, John takes off his helmet, and helping her, he lifts her up and brings her outside the tent. There, we see the same well, near which there is a man who was probably Quan's ancestor, and he is talking to some device, after which the device goes back down into the well. John begins to walk away, but Quan tries to stop him. Just then, Quan's ancestor tells her he will return soon. When he does, you will guide him and open the door for him. Quan asks, "Who are you?" The ancestor slowly walks toward her, and suddenly, all the ancestors from Quan's bloodline begin appearing before her, one by one. At the end of the line, her father steps forward. Overwhelmed at seeing her father again, Quan breaks down in tears. "I don't know what to do," she tells him. Her father gently replies, "You're on the right path. You've finally made it here." Quan asks, "What is all this?" Her father explains that the well is actually a portal, and the energy source within the planet Madrigal is what powers it. She then asks, "Where does this portal lead?" He responds, "The secret of this portal will only be revealed when Madrigal is truly safe. That's why it must be protected. You are its guardian now." Quan hesitates. "I'm not a leader like you. Vincher's men are after me." But her father smiles and says, "Let them come. You must make them dance to your tune." Finally, he tells her, "You must return to the place where all of this began." Meanwhile, on the other side, we see Soren, who takes some of his men and raids a Unice ship. But this was just a plan by Soren. He intentionally traps the same man who had taunted him earlier. The man's leg gets badly stuck, and Soren tells him in anger, "If you ever raise a finger at me again, you won't survive." But after coming home, his wife asks him, "Why did you punish that man so harshly? Something is bothering you." Then he says, "Yes, I promised John that I would keep Quan safe, and I've come here leaving her just like that, which is why I'm feeling bad. By now, Vincher's people must have killed her." But just then, his wife says that Quan is alive because Vincher has now tripled her bounty. After learning this, Soren thinks of saving Quan again and immediately leaves for Madrigal. Back in the desert, the leader wakes Quan up. Quan says that my father told me I am a protector. Then the leader asks, asks, "Do you know where to go?" To which she says yes and starts to return in her car. Meanwhile, elsewhere, we see Vinsher, who had called Quan Ha's father's general, and starts asking her about Quan Ha, but she doesn't reveal anything. But just then, their system detects Quan Ha. That's why Vinsher kills that general and leaves to capture Quan Ha. Following her father's guidance, Quan Ha returns to the same outpost that we saw in episode 1. This is where all the things started, and she starts looking for some things in her father's cabin and finds a letter from her father. Just then, she hears a sound and, taking the letter, she comes outside to look. And just then, Soren appears in front of her. Now, these two also have an argument, but Soren says that he will not break his promise to John. In the middle of their argument, Vinsher and his men arrive there and, from a speaker, start telling Quan Ha to come out. Quan remembers her father's words, "Let them come," and a plan comes to her mind that at this outpost, there are very large hydrogen pipes that we can blast. Vinsher and his men will be killed in it. We can hide in the steel vault in front. We might not get hurt at all. But hearing this might, Soren says, "Okay, so you will set off a hydrogen bomb here and we might survive." But Quan has no other option, so he agrees. After which, Quan starts turning on the gas from the control room so that the gas flows through the pipes. But she finds out that all the gas chambers are closed, which now have to be opened manually, which is on the front side where Vinsher's people are coming from. But Quan Ha says that there is a way to go there from below. That's why she decides that she will go from below and open the chambers. Meanwhile, Soren will reach that vault while killing these soldiers. Now, as soon as she goes to open the path below, she finds a very big bag in which there is a lot of money, meaning crores of rupees from that time. Seeing this, even Soren is surprised. Anyway, as per the plan, Quan Ha starts going from below, and Soren comes out from there, but the surrounding soldiers start attacking him. But Soren has also been a Spartan, and here we see that his fighting skills are also quite good, and one by one, he kills a dozen people. True to their plan, Quan Ha goes from below and reaches the hydrogen plant. But as soon as she comes out, a soldier catches her. But Soren kills that soldier. After which, she opens all the gas chambers, and now hydrogen gas starts to come out of the pipes. Vinsher finds Soren and shoots him directly and tells Quan to come out. Now Soren, with great difficulty, reaches the vault. And just then, taking a gun, Quan Ha comes out and shoots at the plant in front, and before you know it, there is an explosion there. Seeing this, Soren immediately takes Quan Ha inside the cabin. Vinsher and his men also get caught in this blast. Meanwhile, these two are safe inside the cabin. The plant also comes completely up due to the blast, and a line of explosions forms in the sky. Meanwhile, far from this, the women of that tribe are watching all of this. After some time, when all the fire calms down, these two come out. But this planet was now safe, it starts raining there, meaning Quan Ha had won the fight. Now, the next day, we see Quan Ha gives Soren a ship and gives him the entire bag full of money. Soren tells her, "You keep some money." But the help Soren had given Quan Ha, this money was nothing in front of that. That's why Quan Ha refuses, and Soren says goodbye to her and leaves from there, and Quan Ha probably leaves to go back to those women. The scene then shifts to John and Maki. Ever since they spent those moments together inside the Halo ring, they can't stop thinking about each other and smiling. It seems they're starting to like one another. Because of this, John gets ready and goes to meet Maki. He takes her for a walk outside the UNSC headquarters. For Maki, this is the first time since her childhood that she's walking under the open sky. She's overjoyed as she looks at her surroundings. She tells John that she's wanted to see all these things since she was a little girl. She also tells him about her childhood friend, Kat, and a book she used to read. As this is happening, they are being watched. John then takes her a bit further away. He tells Maki, "I saw you inside the ring." Maki replies, "Yes, I saw you too," and adds that it feels like the two of them are somehow connected. John then asks what's so special about the ring that the Covenant aliens want it. Maki explains that there's a prophecy. When the stars in the sky shine like glass, a great power will emerge in the universe. Those who are worthy will be able to claim the sacred ring. Whoever gets the power of that ring will rule the world. That's why the Covenant is so desperate to get there. John asks, if the aliens get there, what will happen to the humans? Maki tells him that the humans won't survive. The Covenant will kill them all. Hearing this, John says, "Look, I know humans aren't perfect, but the childhood memories I've seen, they were pretty good. My parents were good people. We can inspire love and hope in humanity." He asks her to trust him, and Maki agrees. Interestingly, one thing we notice is that ever since they both visited that place in the last part, John's condition has completely improved. Meanwhile, in another location, Dr. Catherine Halsey is still tracking John's every move from her home. But then, at the headquarters, we see the Admiral and Captain Jacob Keyes, who are watching the two of them. The Admiral is angry and says, "They've taken one of our relics, and John is just strolling through a field with that girl. If it were the old John, he would have killed this girl by now." But Captain Keyes tries to calm her down. Down below, John and Maki are still talking. Maki tells him, "Look, if you want the alien's location, just let me touch the relic once. With this relic, we can find the location of the other one. Just then, 2 soldiers arrive to summon John. Due to an emergency, John rushes to the control room. The emergency, it turns out, is dire. The Covenant aliens, who had stolen the other relic, destroyed 2 entire planets on their way back to their home world. Because of this, 11 million people living on those planets have died. We learn that the families of many of the workers were on those planets, and they've all been killed. Furious, the Admiral says they must attack the Covenant, because if they find out the second relic is here, the entire planet's security will be compromised. That's when John presents a plan. He says that if Maki touches the keystone, she might be able to tell them the location of the other keystone and the Covenant aliens. This was something that was proving very difficult for John, but perhaps Maki could do it. The Admiral initially refuses, but after a lot of debate, agrees on one condition. When Maki touches the relic, everything must be done under Miranda's supervision. They finalize the test for 2 p.m. This is because the last time John touched the relic, the power went out across the entire Unicy. They need to back up the whole system before the test. Elsewhere, Vanek and Riz meet for training, but Kai isn't with them. We then see Kai having fun, making a bet with other soldiers. Turns out, she's pulling a warthog with 3 people riding on top of it. Seeing this, we understand just how powerful a single Spartan is, capable of pulling an entire vehicle. Meanwhile, Miranda is still working on the recording she recovered from the alien spaceship. We then see John, who has come to meet Maki. He has brought a gift for her, the same book Maki read in her childhood. Seeing it, Maki is extremely happy and thanks him. John then tells her that she can now go to the keystone. By touching it, she can give them the location of the Covenant aliens. Maki asks, "Does everyone trust me now?" John replies, "No, but they all trust me, and I trust you." Hearing this, Maki gets very emotional. John then kisses her. The 2 of them grow closer and become intimate. At the same time, Cortana sees them getting close because she is connected to John's mind. Cortana feels quite bad watching this. You see, Cortana is a self-learning machine, and she has started developing emotions. And somewhere, she is starting to like John. Simultaneously, when Dr. Catherine checks John's hormones, she realizes they're being intimate. She's also quite surprised that John got a girlfriend so quickly. Catherine had thought she was the only one close to John, and that he only trusted her. Anyway, through Cortana, Catherine figures out that they are going to retest the relic at 2 p.m. And this time, instead of John, Maki will be the one to touch it. So, Catherine was also eagerly waiting for 2 p.m. because she has her own separate plan to mess with the relic. A little later, we see John is asleep. Maki goes and removes the pellet from under his skin. This shows us that she's genuinely starting to like John and wants to help humans. In another scene, Captain Jacob Keyes comes to meet his wife, Dr. Catherine. He tells her that the Admiral wants her to leave the planet by 12 o'clock. Hearing this, Catherine gets angry and asks why. He explains that the Admiral doesn't trust her and knows she's going to cause some kind of trouble. The 2 of them get into a heated argument, and Jacob angrily leaves. Now, as we know, this Catherine is an incredibly clever woman. So now, she takes out the contact lens she made from Miranda's retina and uses it to hack directly into her lab. Through a hologram, she contacts Maki and says, "I am Dr. Catherine Halsey. You don't know me, but John does. I've been taking care of him since he was 6 years old. I'm here only to tell you that you and John are both in grave danger. Because if humans get their hands on the sacred ring, the Halo, with the help of the keystone, the UNSC will use it to cause destruction everywhere. That's why I want both of you to control the Halo weapon and not give it to anyone else. And I will help you with that." But Maki gets very confused hearing all this and tells her to leave. Catherine says, "I don't have the same connection with John that you do, so you need to convince him, take the relic, and come to my spaceship. I will keep you safe and get you out of here." Hearing this, Maki immediately understands that this is a mad scientist who wants the power of Halo for herself. She doesn't care about John or Maki, so Maki cuts off the connection. Even after this plan fails, Catherine doesn't stop. She begins Plan B. Now, she secretly contacts the other Spartans, Kai, Vanek, and Riz. She tells them, because of the keystone, all the UNSC seniors and leaders have been led astray just like John was. And that is why I am activating Protocol Z. From now on, you will only follow my orders. Your mission is this: you must bring John, Maki, and the keystone to my spaceship before 12 o'clock. We see Catherine is now in her spaceship with her assistant and Cortana. But Kai tells Dr. Catherine that they can't fight John. Hearing this, Catherine understands that Kai has also been compromised. So, she disconnects her and secretly orders Vanek and Riz to knock Kai unconscious. We see that as the 3 of them are leaving, Kai tries to reason with them, saying they can't do this to John. But just then, Vanek punches her, knocks her out, and ties her up in a secret location. Now we see Cortana, who asks Dr. Catherine, "What are you going to do with John now?" Catherine replies, "Once we have Maki, we won't need John to activate the keystone. This means John will be of no use to me. Therefore, you can take complete control of John. just like you've always wanted. John is the most powerful and strong being among humans, and if you merge with him, just imagine what you could do. But Cortana is very disappointed to hear this, because it doesn't feel right to her. She wanted to help John, not go against him. After this, in the next scene, we see John and Maki heading for the test. Catherine monitors them and tells Vanek and Riz where they are and where they can ambush them. As they walk, Maki asks John, "If we get the Halo weapon, what's the first thing you'll do?" John says that with its power, they will completely wipe out the Covenant aliens. But after that, he says they don't know what to do with the weapon. Hearing this, Maki gets a little worried. In another location, we see that as soon as John gets out of the lift, Catherine gets her 2 soldiers ready. They hide behind a door, waiting for John. The plan is that at the right moment, Cortana will incapacitate John, and they will take him to the ship. But Cortana doesn't think any of this is right. Sensing the imminent betrayal, she directly cuts all of Catherine's connections and disappears from there. Dr. Catherine is stunned that her own AI creation is betraying her. Meanwhile, her assistant starts to panic. Now, Cortana tries to talk to John, but John tells her to go away. But an angry Cortana stops him and says, "Dr. Catherine has sent Vanek and Riz to capture you. The moment you turn around and open that door, they will attack you." After hearing this, John tells Maki to get out of there. He then moves forward himself and calls out to Vanek and Riz. A fight breaks out between the 3 of them. Meanwhile, we see Kai. As soon as she regains consciousness, she starts kicking the pillar above her with her feet, breaking it apart. As the pillar breaks, Kai escapes and goes straight to the UNSC soldiers. She orders them not to let Dr. Catherine's spaceship leave. "That's my order," she says, after which she herself leaves to help John. On the other side, we see John, where a massive fight is going on between him, Vanek, and Riz. Just then, Kai arrives and joins the fight against the other 2. At the same time, Miranda was just about to leave for the test, but then her computer finally clears up the alien recording and begins to play it. After listening to the whole thing, she realizes that the voice belongs to none other than Maki. This means it was Maki who had attacked their spaceship. She runs out to go warn them. Meanwhile, a soldier grabs Maki and, dragging her brutally, brings her to the Admiral. They are standing right next to the relic. Maki starts begging for help, saying that John is in a fight over there. But the Admiral doesn't trust Maki at all. She asks, "If that's really happening, how did you manage to fight off 2 Spartans and get here?" Just then, Maki says, John started talking to someone in his mind, and that voice warned him that there was danger ahead. That's why he sent me here. After hearing this, the Admiral realizes that Cortana helped him and that Catherine is behind all of this. But they still don't treat Maki properly. Just then, Miranda comes running in and says, "Keep this girl away from the relic. She's the one who attacked our ship." Hearing this, Maki starts to plead, saying, "No, I had to do it. I had no other choice." But just then, the soldier pulls her back and, while beating her mercilessly, throws her to the ground. He then starts giving her electric shocks on her back with his weapon. The shock triggers the same traumatic visions from her childhood when humans had tortured her with shocks back then. Maki begs him to stop, not to do this, but no one listens. And then, she also remembers what Catherine said, that humans will never change, that they are cruel. She gets incredibly angry and, in an instant, touches the keystone. This releases a very powerful wave of energy, which throws everyone in the room backwards. As for the guard who attacked Maki, his entire body is burned to a crisp. Meanwhile, because Maki touched the keystone, she and John once again find themselves in that Halo world. There, Maki tells John, "I can't trust humans." And with that, she says goodbye to him and leaves that place. Now, John meets Miranda, who tells him that Maki just left with the keystone a little while ago and that he can still catch her. Hearing this, he immediately rushes out. However, on his way, John is confronted by Vanek and Riz, who are holding Kai at gunpoint. Faced with this standoff, John pleads with Vanek, saying, "Look, the 4 of us have been together since childhood. Dr. Catherine kidnapped us from our homes to give us training and use us as weapons. Don't kill Kai. In the end, we're all we've got. We don't even have our parents." But Vanek doesn't believe John's words. Just then, Captain Keyes and Miranda arrive. Keyes reveals that everything John is saying is true. He admits, "Unfortunately, I was also involved with Catherine. After we took you, we left clones in your place so your parents would think their children suddenly died from an illness. After that, we erased your memories so you wouldn't remember anything about your past." Hearing all this, Vanek and Riz are completely shocked and finally believe John. John then tells the 3 Spartans that what they heard is true, but they must forget everything and work together as a team to get both keystones back. Hearing this, Vanek and Riz agree to work together as Silver Team again. John, Vanek, and Rizal head out to stop Maki, but before they can, Maki escapes in an alien spaceship with the relic. Meanwhile, we see Catherine, who was planning to escape in a spaceship with Dr. Adden, but she still wants the relic. Adden stops her and says, "Ma'am, let's go now or everything will be lost." They somehow manage to start the ship, but when Kai realizes Catherine is escaping, she gets very angry. She runs from a great distance and makes an incredible long jump, flying through the air and landing right on Catherine's ship. She then punches a hole in the top and gets inside. Kai confronts Catherine, threatening her and demanding to know her real name, but Catherine, as usual, starts manipulating her with sweet talk. Just then, Adden attacks Kai from behind. Of course, Kai is like a super soldier. What's going to happen to her? She easily overpowers and beats Adden so badly that he dies on the spot. However, the ship's engines had been damaged by the earlier energy wave, and now it's about to crash. Seizing the opportunity, Catherine escapes from Kai, gets into an escape pod, and ejects from the spaceship. Now, Kai is alone on the ship, and in a moment, it crashes. From the control room, everyone is being told to get out, but there's no time, and the ship explodes in a massive blast. No one gets any response from Kai, and they assume she didn't make it. Everyone is saddened, but then Kai pulls herself up over a ledge. Her suit is so strong that it saved her. With that crisis averted, now we see John, who finally asks Cortana for help in finding things. Later, John goes to Miranda's lab, where he tells the Admiral and Miranda about the prophecy Maki told him. He says, "Maki told me that when the stars in the sky shine like glass, we will find the Halo weapon." He thinks this might be a clue to find the Covenant planet. So, with Cortana's help, John starts to re-examine the Aspero star system. Cortana then reports that there's a strange gravitational force in the Aspero system, and because of it, they can't see any of the planets there. So, if John's guess is correct, the Covenant alien planet is also in this Aspero star system, but they can't find it because of the gravity. They realize they won't see the planet from here unless they go to that location themselves. And so, with the Admiral's permission, Master Chief decides to go there with his 3 Spartans. And now, Cortana is with them. In a concurrent scene, we see Dr. Catherine. Her escape pod was shot down by a UNSC EMP gun, and she's been captured by soldiers. Miranda meets with her and says that the committee has finalized her verdict. She is sentenced under Article 72 for kidnapping and treason, which means death. Miranda then leaves. But a little later, we see Catherine's condition suddenly worsen. The Admiral and the entire medical staff rush to help her, but Miranda is shocked to see her like this. When she sees blood coming from her nose, she remembers that Catherine had replaced the children with weak clones, and when those clones were dying, blood came from their noses too. This means this is Catherine's clone. Seeing this, she stops everyone and says that this isn't her mother. She has escaped, and this is her clone. This makes Miranda furious. The scene then shifts to Maki, who has now reached the Covenant alien planet with the keystone she took earlier. It's a completely different planet, very open, and you can even see other planets nearby. High on a mountain, among some pillars, sit the 3 aliens. The rest of the alien army isn't seen here. These 3 aliens are actually the Covenant's prophets, or in a way, they're gods. All the prophets praise Maki, but then say they need to prepare for their great journey. Hearing this, Maki asks them if there's a place for her on this journey. The Covenant reply that she is the blessed one, and her place is very special. Maki then leaves to prepare for the ceremony. But then we see the 2 Covenant priests talking to each other. One of them says, "I don't want any humans on our sacred journey. This human has defiled our great land by being here." The other one then says, "Trust me, as soon as our journey begins, she will be killed along with the rest of the humans." Now the scene shifts to Silver Team, the Spartans, who are in their spaceship looking for the Covenant alien planet. During this, Cortana tells John, "I have to tell you something. Catherine's plan was to use Maki to reactivate those relics, and then she would have given me full control of your mind, meaning your consciousness would be gone, and I would be operating your mind completely." Naturally, John is shocked to hear how wicked Catherine is, so he asks, "If you can do that, why didn't you do it before?" Cortana replies, "I am a self-learning machine. By observing the things around me, I've seen that it's the humanity inside humans that makes them special. Dr. Catherine wanted to destroy that humanity, so I chose to help you instead of her." John thanks her, and after a long journey, they finally reach the Aspero star system. At first, it's completely dark and they can't see anything, but Cortana is giving them directions. Then, a strange gravitational force starts affecting their ship, causing a lot of damage and system failures. Cortana also flickers and disappears. Vanek starts to think they're all going to die, but after a difficult journey, they finally break through the gravitational force. Cortana returns, and in front of them, they see the planet. Cortana scans the entire planet but doesn't detect attacked many aliens. Then John and all the other Spartans jump from the ship one by one and land right near the temple, where they start killing the guards. Meanwhile, the Covenant prophets connect the two keystones. Because of this, both John and Maki feel a strange sensation for a moment. But then, another alien sees Master Chief and says that the demon is here. At this, the alien priests go up and hide in the mountains. Maki also hides, and then they summon their alien forces. The four of them hear strange sounds, as if some force is coming towards them. And just then, Cortana scans and reports that thousands of aliens are coming from underground to attack them. When she scanned before, none of these aliens were visible, so they don't have enough weapons. They're being attacked from all sides. But their troubles don't end there, because the alien commander, the one who had run off with the relic from John, also shows up. John has had a very tough fight with him before. Riz goes to fight him, but the Covenant alien is too strong for her and she gets badly injured. Seeing this, John himself goes to fight the alien, but he also starts to lose against him. Maki is watching all of this from hiding, and she can't bear to see John in this state. To help him, she comes to the relic. John sees her and tells her not to do it, but she doesn't listen and touches it. This activates the keystone, and a massive energy wave is released, causing the entire Covenant alien army to be blown off the mountain. Because the keystone's activated at the same time, John and Maki are once again transported to the Halo world. There, Maki says to John, "I don't want to live in that world. From now on, this world is our home." But John tells Maki, "I can't stay here. I have to help my people too. Send me back to the real world." But Maki doesn't listen to him. Then, back in the real world, we see that John and Maki are both in a trance. Kai shoots and kills Maki. The map to Halo disappears. Here, on the other side, we see that the aliens are now after John because Maki is dead, and now the portal can only be opened through him. That's why they want to capture him. Meanwhile, due to the Covenant aliens' attack, all the Spartan soldiers are severely injured. Cortana then tells John that they should leave the keystone here and go back. But John refuses to do so. Then Cortana says that if he touches the keystone again, he will also freeze, which could lead to a lot of trouble. Because of this, John says there's only one way. "You will have to take full control of my body. After that, you can take the stones and all the Spartans and get out of here successfully." Cortana says, "If I take full control, you could die, and I might never be able to bring you back," and she refuses. So, John deliberately stands in front of the alien commander and lets him attack him so much that John is almost dead. Seeing this, the other Spartans are also very sad that their Master Chief has been killed. It's impossible to escape from here. They had accepted their defeat. And so, finally, seeing John dying, Cortana comes out of her AI form and takes control of John's body. A few moments later, John stands up again. Seeing this, everyone is shocked. Now, Cortana is in control. Because of this, John has become much more powerful than before, and using his AI skills, he easily starts fighting the aliens. Not only that, Cortana calls the spaceship down from above and automatically starts attacking all the aliens. The battle here is incredibly intense. Many times we see the fight from the Spartans' point of view, which is awesome. After that, Cortana touches both stones, but this time nothing happens. She escapes from the planet with all the Spartan soldiers. Here, the aliens attack their ship, but nothing happens to it. After arriving on the ship, we see that Riz's condition is very critical. Her lungs are completely damaged. Seeing this, John, or rather Cortana, warms her wounds, which stops the bleeding. Now, everything is quiet and they have both keystones. Cortana goes and sits in the pilot's seat. After some time, Kai also comes and asks her, "Are you John?" But Cortana gives no reply. Seeing this, Kai understands that Cortana has now taken control of John's body. In the very end, we see Catherine as she records her thoughts, reflecting that human evolution is so flawed, we can't even recognize the dangers ahead. She believes that humanity must take control of its own evolution and that the Halo weapon can be the key. She acknowledges that many lives will be lost in the process, but she's convinced that only through this path can human civilization become something greater. Just then, her new assistant arrives to escort her off the planet, and Season 1 ends there. If you all show good love and give a good response, then I'll soon bring the recap of Season 2. And if you like this video, then hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to turn on the bell notification. I'll see you in a new recap soon.